All right, what's up, all Chavos and Chavets and all the loyal fam? It's another episode of Chelas con Chavos. I'm your co-host John, here once again with co-host Miguel. ¿Qué pasa, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Pretty good. Long week of work. On my Chelita right here.
You got
really,
but I got a Bud Light here waiting for me too.
I really needed it this week, man. Long week of work, and then catching ST Loyal collapse once again. The last final minutes. So we'll get into that, but just one of those weeks where it's like, oh man, come on, just let's get to the next game, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, man, a lot of things going on this week. A lot of when it comes to soccer, right? It never really ends, huh? There's always some news.
Always something going on, man. It's always like especially this time of year, man. There's always like things are just kind of coming to close. Like the European calendar is kind of it's coming toward tail end, and the Champions League's coming up, and then especially this year too. You got the FIFA World Cup coming around, so you got like international friendlies happening, and then it's really good, man. You got the Mexican League final going on at Clausura, and then for some strange reason in the U.S. it's still the beginning of the season, so everything else is coming to an end, but except here.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking about the Champions League, obviously we saw that we have a Champions League winner, that is Real Madrid, with Carlo Ancelotti, ex Everton headman. Went back to Real Madrid, obviously, and then took control of that squad, and then ends up winning the Champions League, playing against Liverpool. Did you end up checking the game out?
Yeah, actually, I was able to watch it on my I was able to watch it somewhere in down Chula Vista because I had to actually work at the bakery. Um, but I was able to catch a good majority of the game, pretty much almost the whole game, and I saw the goal by Vinny Jr. and stuff like that. It was the game itself I felt was a little boring. I don't know if anybody else kind of feels the same sentiment, but it's a Champions League final. I mean, you can't go wrong. You got to watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't like boring as you were watching some like Division 3 teams playing, obviously, right? It's obviously two top clubs, but I just thought there was going to be more goals and a little bit more action. I think it was kind of stale a little bit, especially the first half. I was kind of watching it and I was like, just what's going on? I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the pre-game stuff that was going on outside of the stadium.
The 30-minute delay.
Yeah, the delay, and then Liverpool fans were getting treated and however you want to put it, in a not so good way outside, getting pepper sprayed. I heard there's video footage of fans getting pepper sprayed. Word is that there was a lot of Liverpool supporters that were showing up that did not have tickets. And then, the Champions League or whatever the organization came out saying that Liverpool fans were showed up late, so they closed the gates. A lot of weird confusion. Even the announcers, Thierry Henry, was commenting about what the hell is going on. Like all the Real Madrid supporters are there, the Liverpool supporters are halfway, and it wasn't really clear what was going on. And then like finally, they just said, all right, we're gonna start at this time. And then they had the pregame show still. A lot of people are complaining about that. Like, well, everyone wanted the game to go on, and then they have the pregame, singing and dancing going on while there's people outside getting pepper sprayed, and a lot of supporters couldn't get in because they just closed the gates. And then the game started, and it feel like even the commentators were talking about it too, how it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, no, it didn't feel right at all. And I honestly, it's kind of expected, when it comes to like England fans. I'm not saying that they're terrible fans or they're horrible fans, but they are known to break into games. That's kind of what they do. They when they have the when they have the league finals over like in Wembley and stuff like that, like They are
Yeah.
known if they don't have a ticket, their next best option to get into the game is to just bum rush it because they can't stop everybody, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, and I feel bad because I honestly believe like a lot of people that were being held outside had tickets, but there was a very like small portion of them that didn't have tickets that felt like, hey, I'm just gonna force my way into this game, and
Yeah.
that's what caused the stadium to close. But it wasn't just Liverpool fans too. I mean, you saw Real Madrid fans, like hopping
Yeah.
the fence too, making a run for it. Um and it kind of happens in a stadium, kind of like in Paris, like that big stadium, some place that has seen a lot of big events. I'm honestly surprised that we're not able to control the entrance a little bit better. And it's funny because I was actually talking to my buddy about it too, and it's like the fact that they still have I mean, it's 2022 and we still have counterfeit tickets. How is that possible? You mean to tell me you can't freaking come up with this RFID tag that that's like encrypted with this certain
Yeah.
crypto like, tag or something? I don't know. Like everything should be digital nowadays, and I do not understand why we still have counterfeit tickets out there.
Yeah, they should have some kind of like crazy, hologram, ticket, or whatever, like how you
Yeah,
said, some encrypted barcode or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah,
If I can't get into Comic Con, people shouldn't be able to get into the Champions League final.
yeah. But yeah, just how you said, it wasn't just Liverpool supporters there. It looked like there's some footage also of either Real Madrid or just they had plain clothes. Could have just been French,
Yeah,
French citizens, just footy fans that just wanted to get in there and were trying to get in too.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
but that's just how massive, right? The Champions League final is, especially in Europe. France, England, Italy, Spain. If
Yeah,
the matches are going to be played in any of those, actually anywhere really in Western Europe, if any
hmm
games in the Champions League finals are going to be played there, there's going to be just a massive influx of just supporters. It doesn't matter if you're a supporter per se of the individual team, but just a supporter of football. And people want to just be there. They don't want to watch it on TV. They want to say that they were there, with their kids, or just take pictures of themselves, selfies, and just to say, hey, I was there at Champions League final 2022, Real Madrid, Liverpool,
yeah,
and yeah, so that's just how massive, the sport is, and hopefully, that's what we're trying to build here, right, in the States, and
exactly,
we could be here all night and talk about it, but that's why it's important having the World Cup here, in the States, right? And it looks like, just to bring that up real quick, I think we mentioned a while ago that uh, that SoFi Stadium over in LA, that it was not at the dimension for FIFA for the World Cup, but apparently it's still in the running,
yeah.
which is great because I know San Francisco. What's the stadium called up there? I don't even know.
Uh,
Um, the
Levi Stadium.
Yes, looks like they're chosen to hold some World Cup games, and LA SoFi Stadium has some difficulties in regards to the dimensions, but apparently they're still in the running for it, which is great because I would rather go to LA than San Francisco. I would still go to San Francisco either way,
Yeah,
but I'd rather go closer to LA if there was an interesting matchup, that I want to go see. So that'd be really awesome if that's still the case. But again, the World Cup's coming here to the United States. Just it's gonna. I think it's gonna blow up even more. Just like the whole popularity of the sport, especially if USA is gonna be in it. Obviously, we're gonna be in it because we're gonna be the host, nation, one of the host nations with Mexico and Canada. But that's just how important footy is to outside of the states, just how big the sport is, and hopefully we can see that here, right?
yeah, yeah. I think the fan base is kind of already there for the United States. Just even just the fan base just for soccer in general, man. I mean, the new generations coming up. Uh, I mean, everybody that was a kid in the '94 World Cup is now going to be 40. The late 30s. They're going to have their own
Yeah,
income. It's just they're going to be able to go to these games, and I think SoFi is probably they're gonna fix their dimension issues. Um, but if that's not the case, I mean, still, it's Los Angeles. I mean, they got the Rose Bowl right there, and the Rose Bowl is pretty iconic when it comes to World Cups. What I mean, just the fact that they held that Brazil versus Italy final,
yeah,
'94. That thing was just massive in itself. So
Yeah.
I don't think even if SoFi isn't up to FIFA standards, the fact that the Rose Bowl is still around is probably going to keep them in the running because I mean it's Los Angeles. You what I mean
Yeah.
you can't have a World Cup in the United States without Los Angeles. I mean it's
Exactly.
with New York and it's the same thing with San Francisco. All the
Exactly.
other cities, I'm assuming Boston's going to be in one. Maybe Chicago and Dallas for sure, just because of the size of
Oh
the state.
yeah.
And I would think maybe one more international city might be Miami, but it could
Yeah.
also be DC. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Where maybe even Chicago. I mean, who knows? It's just there's a lot of cities in the United States that love soccer, and it's just gonna have to be. You know, they're gonna have to pick and choose which one's gonna be the best one.
Yeah, and no, I agree. There's no way that they're gonna let the World Cup come and then nothing happen in Los Angeles. So I know they're gonna find a way to make that happen. Because there's gonna be mad money going on there. You know,
Oh
like with all the Hollywood and famous people going there. You know, to the games and whatnot. It's just massive money. But yeah, I just can't wait for that. Um, but hey, it's we got a couple years to go, and we got the league to grow. USL Championship. And speaking of that, speaking about the league, how about that San Diego Loyal game?
God, man. I,
Hey, can we hold a moment of silence for every SC Loyal game with the last 10 minutes of the match?
man, it's just it was. I didn't think it was. I was kind of thinking we are gonna win. Um, I did not think. I don't know why, for the life of me, Stoneman decided to tackle that dude in the last minute. Like, why,
Oh
man? I
man,
understand it's last minute, and I understand it's probably a stupid call, but why are you tackling him? Why are you getting on top of him? Why are
yeah,
you tackling him down? There's just fucking let it go. He wasn't gonna get the ball anyway.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
go.
What are the chances that he's gonna just head a freaking ESPN moment
Yeah.
header into the freaking goal? Like, just defend the best you can, and then and to see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember I think out of that whole thing, I just remember seeing I think Toomey's face. Um, I think he kind of just put his hands in his jersey and just covered his face. It's just like not again. I mean,
Yeah,
not again. And it was. I'm not gonna blame it 100% on Stoneman, obviously, because it's not his fault. Well, that the last goal is his fault, but I mean, the whole game is not
yeah,
his fault. They were-
yeah,
the loyal. They were pressuring the whole first half, and then the second half, they just disappeared. The offense disappeared. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're in this mental block where they have to protect the lead and an end. But honestly, like I said, I think I mentioned last podcast. I am a big believer in not dropping back to defend because that just gives the other team opportunities to shoot the ball. It gives that team opportunities to like it gives them even more opportunities than they would have had normally if you just kept playing the same game you had, just continue the same momentum.
yeah,
Yeah. If you really want to protect the lead late in the game, then yeah, do that like in the last like 5 minutes, but don't do it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very frustrated and it got to a point where I was just I was like, it's just not okay. I mean, this is not a championship team. If you cannot close a game against a team that is against a team that is down their luck,
yeah.
then you don't deserve to be in a championship game. You don't deserve a championship at all. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe I was on the social media, and I was a comment caught my attention. I forgot who put it out there, so I apologize for that. But someone put that, yeah, we'll make it to the playoffs, and we'll probably play away probably to San Antonio again or something like that. And we're gonna lose just like last year,
Yeah.
just because what we're seeing. How many games is this now that has happened? About like the 10th or so, 10th to 15th game. It's way too many times that we have seen this. And again, I was watching the match, and we're up 2-0, and the halftime, I was over at Hanger FC out here in East County,
Mhm.
and then I think it was like the 70th or 75th minute, that I was like, all right, cool, we got this. We got this. All right, I had to work the following day, early in the morning, And I was like, all right, we got this. I'm gonna drive home and then just watch the end of the game, at home. And cool. I started driving home. Next thing you know, boom, a goal. Get los dos. And I was like, oh shoot, and then boom, and then like saw like that there was like seven, or actually no, there was like 5 minutes of extra time, and then we're into like the seventh minute, and the ref is still like just like letting the play go as if like nothing, which I don't understand why.
I don't even know either, man. I have no idea either, man. It's just I kind of feel the same way about like with you because so I was kind of hanging out with I was hanging out with my wife and I was like, you know what? Okay, it's a 94th minute. Let's just go back home now. I'll I'll figure like I'll look I'll watch it on my phone or whatever. And the second I turned it on, and I saw on the clock it was like 95 minutes, and then we're only adding three and I turned it on and I saw the moment when they scored the penalty and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then they just blew the whistle right after that. It was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck
All
just
right.
I don't understand what happened. And I was gone for less than 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, it was horrible.
And like, within like 10 minutes or so, we went from 2-0 to freaking lose, or we're not losing. Well, basically, yeah, we lost, really.
Their
But
loss.
going 2-2, and I was like, what? And the refereeing, let's just say the refereeing the past couple weeks at Loyal games has been freaking disgustingly horrible. It didn't help much that Vassell missed that penalty kick.
Yeah.
He had that. He had that. You just gotta. He's a strong cat. He's a very passionate, strong player. Hit it high, and then hit the crossbar like underneath it, just bounced off. And went bounced down and up. Bounced off the line, and then just didn't do it. But I don't blame him for the hit. I think he was there. It was just a matter of a centimeter or two.
Yeah.
So he had the right idea on it. It just didn't. He just couldn't pull it off, and then I think that really affected us right there. And then, but yeah, Los Dos, they're down on their luck right now. They're not doing well. Um, and then we go over to their house where they don't even have any freaking fans for one. They don't even have any fans over there, and we find a way to not win the game.
Yeah. Again. Again. And it's just gonna hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass a little bit later, but and it's still a long season. There's still a lot of games. I get that. I understand that. But that's 4 points we've given away in the last 2 games. Like, we should be instead of having 2 points, we should have a total of 6 points. That's a whole place on the table. That's a whole different like, standing on the table. Um
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan
yeah, and I
of
cringe. I cringe at this right now because right now we're still in third place, but we're tied up now with Phoenix Rising. Uh, at 21 points. Phoenix Rising has been having a crappy freaking season, the crappy month, and they found the way to tie us up with on points. And we're gonna be going into this weekend, or actually Thursday. The game's gonna be on Thursday tomorrow. Um, Going all the way to New York, playing against Red Bulls too, and they're at the bottom of the table. They're literally 14th in their division. If we don't find a way to completely like wipe them like on the concrete, this is it's not gonna be looking good for the rest of the season. I know we're gonna have a long home stretch, but if we can knock Red Bulls on their butts, they're bottom of the table with 4 points. If we can't win that game, we have a serious problem.
yeah, if we don't come back with 3 points, that's it. That's just it's not even that's it, but it's just yeah, you're right. We have a serious problem. And like I mentioned before, I think I mentioned this countless times. We have a good offense, we have a good goalie. Our midfield and our defense just needs to step it up. That's it. In those second halves, if they want to protect that lead, they have to step it up. They cannot just keep dropping back and letting teams advance like that. They have to start pressing, 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 and
Mhm.
it just that's just not they're not doing it. And maybe I'm not seeing it right, but yeah, it just feels to me like in the second half, they allow so many shots, and eventually some of them are going to go in.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
I'm gonna get into a little discussion here that's gonna be really in the obvious that when we have a great player like 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 Yarrow, right?
Hmm.
A great player that's getting noticed around the league in the MLS. Someone's going to snatch him up. Someone's going to want to pay a high price for him. The team needs it. The organization, the team needs it. I know that. You hear the discussions that's been going on. It's always like the budget, the budget. Hey, we're a Division 2 team. It's not like Andrew and and Landon or billionaires are going to be getting all these top-notch players and hold on to them. Say, hey, I want you to stay here. I want to pay you this salary, and I want you to stay. We need the money. So we're losing a player like Yarrow, which I think is or definitely affected us. He's athletic, extremely fast. Someone who could pick up speed really quick. We don't have him anymore. Who's like him? We don't have anybody like him anymore. We have someone like Stoneman, who's a great, passionate, aggressive player, but he's been known to cause a lot of plays that has gone against us, where we
Yeah.
either lose a game or end up having to have to settle with a draw because of his plays.
Yeah.
And I don't see really anybody really playing better than him at the moment, but I think he needs to be looked at, benched, bench him or something for a game or whatnot. I don't know, but he's probably the best defender we have at that position. But I mean, if I want him to play against Red Bulls, but if he
Yeah.
messes up on this one, man, we gotta let him go.
God, man, it's the Rafa Marquez scenario all over again, right? Like you love the guy, he's really good, but man, that guy, you just get so many fouls called against him, man. It's just like holy shit, dude.
I talked
Yeah,
about him a couple weeks ago. We talked about him. I was like, freaking Stoneman, freaking Stoneman. My nicknames for him is like Grant, the Pitbull Stoneman. And you know how Pitbulls are, man. You know how
it's,
Pitbulls are. They're cool, they're loyal. They do a good job one day, but they could really fuck up. Those
they're
fucking
a wild card, man. They're just a wild card.
they could chew up your shoe and they just fucked up your
Yeah,
whole week. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And then that's what Stoneman's doing. He's chewing up those fucking cleats and he's just messing it up right now.
Uh,
So
I hope really he picks it up, and I don't know if it's I don't know if that's one of those discussions that kind of Landon had with them or somebody's had with them. If to me, I would just tell him like, "Hey, dude, I love the aggressiveness, I love the intensity, but damn, dude, just chill out, man. Just don't, try to be a little more subtle about stuff, man." You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know.
We got to be very careful too because look, check out the other teams that are above us, right?
Yeah.
San Antonio has 11 matches played. We have 12. San Antonio is on first place.
Yep.
Colorado Springs, they have 10 matches played, 24 points, second position. SD Loyal, 12 matches played, 21 points. We really got to start bringing the points in. Phoenix Risings level with us with 12 matches played. They're tied with us right now. We have to be keeping up. New Mexico's on the rise. They have 11 matches played. They have a game in hand as well, and they're at 19 points. They win their next match, they're going to be at 21 points, just level with us.
Yeah.
El Paso's there in fifth place. They have 14 matches played. So, they look like they might just be like at the bottom of the cusp of the playoff teams going in at the end of the season. But it's really going to be a battle probably between, ST Loyal and New Mexico, going above El Paso, getting one of those last places.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's gonna be. It's not like you said. It's not gonna. Uh, man, it doesn't help that a lot of our next few games. I mean, well, it's going to be home games, a lot of it, so we could actually catch up. But you're right, man. We gotta beat Red Bull. Um, we gotta capitalize on all these home games coming up, and then we just have to make sure that we stay solid away. But yeah, you're right, man. It's one of those situations where at any given week somebody can just jump us 3 or 4 spots, and
Yeah,
we just got to make sure we stay relevant and we make these next games count because
yeah,
everybody's already caught up. So
yeah. So let's talk about the match against New York Red Bulls DOS. All
Uh-huh.
right. um, so they're playing the match tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time,
Mhm.
5 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
What the hell is that all about? I'm worried about that. Why? Just because mentally or biologically, our biological clock, especially for the players, they're on West Coast time.
Yeah.
They're going to be at 2 p.m. time. They're going to be at sleepy time, Mimi's time, nappy time, going over to New York and playing a 5 o'clock East Coast game. I'm a little bit concerned about that. That they might not they'll probably be like a little bit, jet lagged about it. But it's a not good team. But I'm still concerned. I'm kind of a little bit worried.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird it's a weird scheduling choice by USL, especially because it's not a league that's known to be able to spend money, right? Um, to have a team go from Texas to Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles go to New York in a short week, and then they have to come back, and then play play Hartford like the week later. But to me, a Thursday afternoon game is just a really weird choice by USL when it comes to the scheduling stuff, especially because Red Bull 2 they play in Red Bull Arena. I mean they don't have any other home field. Their home field is Red Bull Arena. Um,
When does
maybe
Red Bulls? When does the senior club play?
let's see. I think Red Bull
Maybe
plays.
it's because they had to get the pitch ready for Red Bulls. Division one. They had to have a more of an earlier game so they can have time for the stewards or whatever, the landscapers or something to clean up.
They play Saturday, June 11th against Charlotte.
Ooh, see,
So
that's not
it
that's
doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense, and that's a horrible time.
And
Especially
they play at Charlotte.
there. Yeah, see, there you go, and ST Loyal playing such an early game time during the week at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
Watch party. I know.
non-existent.
Yeah, like what can you do? Like everyone's still at work. You can't even get nowhere after that because like
Yeah,
everyone's working, for the most part. And I know the shop. I think I saw that Estee Lauder's gonna have a watch party at the shop,
yeah,
so they're gonna televise it there because they know, they got a bunch of gear in.
yeah.
They re-upped on a bunch of gear, so they're gonna have a little bit of a mini event over there with the watch party. Um, but it's difficult to have gathering when the match is at 2 p.m. and there's like traffic in the middle, like traffic time.
I mean, I'm gonna
But
watch it up here. I'm over in Georgia right now, so it's gonna start for 5 p.m. for me. So it shouldn't be
yeah.
actually too bad. Um,
Yeah, what's
but
up with Georgia? What's up with Georgia, man? Let's talk about Georgia for a minute.
yeah, it's super
You're
hot
in,
out
I was in
here.
Georgia, you're in Georgia.
Yeah, it seems to be the center of the universe right now, man.
The
It's
Georgia is just like
it, it's cool, man. It's actually a pretty cool state.
it has to be the peaches,
Yeah.
not the Mexican food. It has to be the
Oh,
peaches.
man. Yeah, I had some tacos today, and it was just like that. But the only reason I had tacos is because we got taken out by the people we're working with. So I don't know if they assumed something, whatever. But nah, they're super nice
Yeah,
people.
I know.
It was good, man. It's just but I mean, honestly, man, I'm having a good time right here, man. It's just I'm about a couple hours south of Atlanta right now. I'm in Macon, um, and it's super hot. It's muggy.
Oh
I
yeah.
think today was like 98 degrees outside with
Oh,
the
muggy as hell, right?
humidity. Yeah, it was bad, dude. Um, but other than that, man, everybody's super nice out here. I mean, I love it, man. I can't wait to come back out. Um, I'm gonna try to see if I can catch an Atlanta United game, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But yeah, it's gonna be it's a really cool state, man. And I just um I, I'm hoping maybe when we do the whole Birmingham thing, we could probably make a trip out here.
Yeah, you gotta check out. I didn't go to it when I was out there, but they have this thing called Peach World. I
Peach.
don't know if it's I don't know if it's an amusement park, or not. But I don't know if it have rides, with peaches. You have to ride huge peaches or something like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory or something like that. I don't think it's like that, but something called like Peach World, where I'm assuming they probably have everything peaches. Or I think it was like when one thing I did find funny out there was like there was like I think it was crocodile jerky or something like alligator crocodile jerky.
Oh wow, I gotta try that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I was curious about trying that, but where I saw that it was getting sold at was like some like something on the corner of like the middle of a forest, and I was a little bit hesitant on getting out of like the car and going to walk up in there and getting some croc jerky from something that came out of a horror movie. So I wasn't sure about trying it out. So it looked interesting. But you know what? Speaking of Georgia, I'm very, I want us to kind of get more information out there to everybody that's listening. But we've been talking about the whole Birmingham trip, but I also want to talk about the next coming weeks about other away matches because we have a away match coming up against Orange County.
Mhm.
We have away matches that I'm very excited about. Monterey Bay that I really want to make an effort to go up there. It's very beautiful. Monterey Bay is like I only seen it in pictures, but it looks amazingly beautiful.
Yeah,
And in Las Vegas, so there's a few away trips that I really want us to talk about more and try to get like a big following to go up there.
yeah. So I know for the next away trips we have well, actually, our next after Red Bull, we have 4 home games against Hartford, Las Vegas, Indy 11, and Orange County. Then we go to Colorado for the 4th of July weekend, and then we come back and we do LA Galaxy and RGV Toros here in San Diego. And then after that, that's when we go to Orange County. So we have quite a bit of home games coming up, man. It's going to be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a really good time, a really good moment for Loyal to just get, fed that energy that Section 109 all Torero provides them. That's going to give them that extra oomph, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
To get those 3 points because we really need it. We can't go into the end of the season fighting for a playoff spot and getting one of those last ones. Where we're going to end up playing against San Antonio again, at their place or playing against like the switchbacks and in Colorado. Mind you, but the Colorado got their butts kicked.
Yeah, they did.
They got their butts kicked the other day by was it Monterey Bay?
Hold on one second. Let me bring it up. Yeah, they lost to Monterey Bay 4-2.
Yeah, so that's crazy for one because Monterey Bay, I think they were playing away for the most part, and then
Yeah,
they opened up their stadium and then they started to have a lot of home games, so they're starting to get points from their home games.
yeah, that's good for them though. I mean, dude, how crazy would it be if our last if that makeup game with Colorado turns out to be like a playoff, you know, like a playoff defining game, right? Like we got to win and we're in. Like
and
the one
and that's
that postponed, they're gonna reschedule.
yeah, and I really don't want to see that, man. We really have to have a good home stand right at Torero and get these points.
Yeah.
Um, and hopefully we do. Hey, so I want to move on a little bit. I have a few things to talk about, but what do you think the result's going to be against Red Bulls?
Uh, Considering their record right now and how they're playing, I'm gonna say Loyal come out. Man, I don't know, man. I'm tired of giving them. I I thought the 2-1 in LA was gonna be good, and I was super close about it, man. But I'm honestly like when I talk about Loyal and my predictions and stuff like that, I'm trying to be as honest as possible, and I really do feel like Loyal can actually pull off a 2-0 win in New York.
Wow, just 2-0, huh?
Just 2-0. I don't know. I just feel like I think the jet lag might be a lot. I think Vassell's gonna have a great game. Um, it's just one of those games where it just doesn't feel like I don't know. It feels like a scrimmage. It doesn't really feel like a real game. So, well, we'll find out. 2-0 Loyal.
Oh, my opinion. That's a really good scoreline just because I'm not really too, impressed how they have been hanging on lately. I just have a feeling Red Bull's gonna score as well, man. I just
Yeah,
have a feeling they're gonna score at some point. I think our defense is not playing too well right now, and I think going all the way to New York,
mhm.
well, New Jersey, really rather, right? Uh, and I don't know. I think it's not gonna be as easy as it looks. I think a squeeze, or I think we're gonna squeeze out like a 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. I just have a feeling that, man, I don't know what it is, dude. I feel like they get in this rhythm where they go up and they feel like they need to protect the lead, and I don't really think they should be doing that, but I feel like it's gonna happen here. They're just gonna wanna go the safe route, get those 2 quick goals and then just, just try to sit back a little bit, but, uh,
yeah.
I'm thinking 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, so moving along. Hey, so I know the last podcast we discussed a little bit about the whole stadium situation,
Mhm.
and there's been a lot of footage coming out from Snapdragon Stadium. About it's almost ready, 100 days to go. Buy your tickets now. For SDSU Aztec football matches. But there's like a few things I want to talk about. That is that I can't find it at the moment, but they're talking about that there's going to be parking, that tailgating. They didn't specifically say tailgating, but there it looks like there's going to be tailgating there, just because they do have a mini parking area that's getting built, and
Oh,
I think that's going to get really just really a little bit of a more people that usually that probably may not be going, just to watch the match. But I mean, like, who doesn't like in San Diego a freaking, a tailgate, with some carne asada and some
yeah.
freaking, barbecue, whatever, and drinking some beers. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some tailgate. And I know San Diego is not that idiotic to where that they were going to totally relinquish having tailgating. um I know they wanted to minimize it just because they wanted to put a lot of housing in,
Yeah.
but again, for the sake of ST Loyal potentially playing over there, I think it's going to be a big move, or a big up in getting a lot of people going to the matches. But one thing I do want to comment, because right now I'm looking at the Snapdragon Stadium page, is that they have a lot of footage about the stadium right now, and like, look, being there, like, a lot of it's like close up footage. It's as if I'm there, right?
Yeah.
But I know we were talking about it last week, that if we do play there, ST Loyal, that even if we do fill up a lot of the lower bowl, which is about 18,000, which from my understanding is about half of the upper bowls, it's still massive. It's a
Yeah.
massive stadium. 36,000 people, capacity. And the SD Legion, the San Diego rugby team,
Yeah.
already announced that they're going to be playing there in 2023. But it's, there's, again, I'm looking at it right now. It's just massive, and it's going to be nice being it would be nice, being at a nice, modern facility. But it just looks way too big, man. It just way too big. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just really like up in the air.
Yeah, no, I mean, so they are gonna have a tailgate park. Um, so that's still gonna be a part of the experience, and that's gonna be really good for the loyal. But I just think I still stand by what I said last week, man. It's just we just have to build that fan base, man. We'd have to get out there, and it kind of goes to it kind of it plays hand in hand, right? Like if the loyal want to build that fan base, they have to do better in away games. They have to start building that trust with the community, with the fans. Um, like I've been giving little updates to the Emo Brown podcast, and ever since I started doing those updates, I only I only reported on one win, and that was against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then everything else has been like, oh, it was a heartbreaker. Like, oh man, it was a soul crusher. Oh man, like they just gave it up. So it's when you're trying to introduce people to the San Diego Loyal, and especially if they're going to want to be able to sell out Snapdragon, they have to start producing. They have to start making it work. Um, and it's only going to be one of those things. Like, I mean, the SGs, we're not going to be able to just hold down every single game. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much we can do. There's only so many people we can invite to go to the game. But at some point, the loyal have to start building that winning mentality, right? So, but I mean, but to your point, man, I think you know 32,000 is that what you said?
36.
36,000. It for for soccer and college standards, yeah, that's a pretty decent sized stadium. But I mean, when you have like when you're playing the likes like I mean, I believe I think Bank of California Stadium is right around that too. Um,
Oh no, it's less. It's about 22,000.
is it really?
Yeah, a lot of
Oh,
that.
dude. Okay, so 10,000 people. Okay, man, yeah, it's gonna be a little tough, man. But I think we could do it. I think it's possible, and I think if there's a good plan to be able to like not make it look so empty, I think we could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what I did want to say is that that's what makes this season so important. Because can you just imagine if we at least reach the final, as at least ST Loyal reaching the final this year, how important that would be going into next year. Well, right now, remember we talked about it last podcast, was that about how Ricardo and the listening session commenting that it's not confirmed where we are going to be playing next season because we want to see what's going on with Midway.
Yeah,
There's the whole financial thing we have look into. Snapdragon's going to be open. Look who's going there. SD Wave, Senegal Legion rugby team, SCSU Aztecs, and potentially, ST Loyal. And I think I really want to make an effort to go to that. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be tickets available because it's freaking 36,000 freaking seating. But I
yeah.
really want to go to that ST Wave match that's going to be there. I believe they're going to be playing a match there against Angel City.
Oh yeah, that one.
Angel City.
I think that one's gonna sell out easy. I think.
You think
Um,
so? Well, sell 36,000?
yeah, I think so. It's A, because it's gonna be the first ever game at Snapdragon, and B, it's gonna be against Angel City, and Angel City, believe it or not, has a lot of supporters. Man, they have a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
they have a lot of people backing them up. So I mean, I think the draw of the new stadium and just the fact that you can actually go there and check it out and be one of the first people to ever set foot in that stadium, yeah, I think it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. They're gonna sell out easy.
And that's a big reason why I want to go because I want to see how the tailgating situation is. I want to see how just the whole vibe is. If it works for us, as the SG, like what end would we be at? How we would feel. How does the sound? How is like the sound of like the screams of the fans? How is that? How is like just like the logistics of it, imagining us, the SGs, locals, Rainbow Loyals, and us, Chavos, getting there and getting like a VIP type parking, and how all the drums, set up and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's why I definitely want to check it out. I don't want to rule it out, obviously, because I was completely really against playing there, but just like the way things are right now with the politics in the city, I just think there's really not much of an option, right? And that's why I just want to really be open to it, just because. Oh, and plus it's closer to my house. So I don't have to go too far. I don't have to go all the way to freaking crazy traffic Midway, deal with all that crazy traffic over there. I love that Midway area, like Liberty Station and stuff like that, but the traffic over there is freaking horrible. I'd rather go to Mission Valley.
yeah. From the renderings and from looks in the pictures, I think they're gonna put us in the student section because they're adding the student section in the north end of the stadium. Kind of where that big screen and where the Snapdragon, the red, that
Yeah.
kind of copperish sign. That I think the student section is going to be right there, and I think that's kind of where they're going to want to put the SGs for sure.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but it's
It
coming
looks like
together. The
yeah, it
stadium,
looks like it's being
and
remote.
it looks like it's open. It's going to be open for organizations to play there. They want ST Lowell to play there. They already have Wave going to be playing there, and Legion's playing there, and the Aztecs football. So and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, so at the moment, just a little bit of a live update here. There's about 10 minutes or so left in the Orange County Oakland Roots match.
Hmm.
Uh, Oakland Roots receiving Orange County, and Orange County is winning 2-1.
Wow.
So Orange County has not been playing too well. However, they, they're right now they're in eighth place. They got 12 games played as well, so they're not really doing too well. But they're beating Oakland Roots. Oakland Roots aren't really good as well neither. But we haven't really got any good results against them either. So we have a very important homestand going to be going on. So it's going to really be up to us, the supporters, to go over there and be as loud and proud as we can, right?
Yeah. No, it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those games where, I mean, the defending champions. I mean, honestly, I think Orange County winning the championship was a fluke, to be honest, personally. Um, but yeah, no, it's going to be a very important like home stretch coming up, man. I think all the fans should be able to head out. Plus, I mean, we haven't seen each other in forever.
Yeah.
It's been like a whole month and a half since we had a game in San Diego. So I think it's going to be a lot. Obviously, 4 games in a row at home. It's going to feel like, oh my god, here we go again, here we go again, here we go again. But I think it's going to be fun to be able to see everybody there.
Yeah, I know, and then before we finish, I wanted to talk about that. Is that it's been a while since everyone saw each other, but I wanted to get into where I went to watch the match against Los Dos. Uh, I went over to Hangar FC.
Hmm.
Hangar FC was having a watch party. If you don't know what it is, it's a futsal, couple courts over there in East County, snuggled in between the great cities of El Cajon and Santee, right? My favorite part of town. No, not really. But no, but it was I went there. The location's great. It's right off the freeway. Um, Huge. It's a plenty of parking. Inside they have about 3 futsal courts. Great setup. They have restrooms. That when I went there, they had a projection screen, and the projector up so we could watch the game. It was nice. Food was there, provided by the club, and drinks. There was probably about 40, 50 people there, about 50 or so, family. People brought their chairs, and then there's again they're eating and drinking and watching the game, and it was good. I liked it for something for East County. I think it was great. That's something obviously that the club's trying to grow beyond just Central San Diego. South Bay. There's a lot of the supporters are from South Bay. A lot of Chavos are from South Bay. North County as well. Locals are having events up there in North County every now and then. In East counties, there's a couple of events that already happened out here that I mentioned last week too, like at Press Box over in Rancho San Diego,
Yep.
Creative Creature, and also here at Hangar FC. So I think it was great. The place was really great. The people were playing, while watching the game or halftime. So it was great. So I'm really looking forward to having more events there. It's going to grow. Just like the popularity of the club out here in East County, which is really what I want to see. Just because I live out here, so I really want to see the growth come out here too. Because there's a lot of people playing soccer out here in East County, as well as South Bay and North County. So, but it was great. How about you? Yeah, I know you mentioned that you talked to some people that were over at Bluefoot.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I saw that a lot of people, especially more families and stuff like that, went to Hangar FC. And then there was a lot. The people ended up actually going to Bluefoot, and it was really more. Actually, it was more than a loyal game. I know people that were there, for the since noon to watch the Champions League game, and they kind of stayed there. Probably had a little more beer, and then they saw the loyal game, and I actually met up with a few people, from the Chavos, especially after the game. We went to Whistle Stop and we met up with them there, and they were just talking about like the whole vibe. I mean, everything was going so great, and then at the end of the game, everybody was just kind of stress drinking more than anything. So,
Yeah.
um, no, they were saying there was a really good turnout at Bluefoot. So, like I said, like we said last week, man, Bluefoot's one of those bars that's just it's iconic when it comes to soccer in San Diego. I mean, anybody who loves soccer knows that Bluefoot is the place to go on Saturdays. It's one of the places to go. Not saying it's the only one, but it's one of them. And
Right.
this definitely, it has its grasp on San Diego fan bases, especially here in especially on Saturday mornings. So hopefully that kind of pushes forward. I know they started doing wave viewing parties too. So I mean, it's gonna be one of those places where it's where hopefully I think the loyal kind of take a hold of, because that's part of the inner city crowd that they've been missing too, that not just a casual football fan, but people that really love the sport. And if they get to see that at Bluefoot, it can make wonders. I mean, it could bring a lot of people out there.
Oh yeah, I'm really just happy to see just how the crowd was too. I know SLO was putting out footage of how it was during the match, and it looked like it was a good crowd. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it out there for sure. A couple matches, um, just to be out there in Bluefoot because it's a great ambiance, and I love that place. I've been going there since like 2000 like 7 or 8. So I've been going there like that long. So I've been going there, watching EPL and watching World Cup games, USA
yeah.
especially. But it's a great place over there.
That's one of the
Hey,
first places I took my wife to watch. To watch a soccer game. And that was the first time she's ever been. And she's like she couldn't believe that people woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go watch soccer.
yeah,
She's
there's like-minded individuals there, and everyone's really kind to each other. Even if you're, let's just say you're watching the English Premier League, there's gonna be, people there that just like, even though they're an opposing team, but they'll be like, kind of give a little bit of banter, but I mean, share a little beer, a little pint, and that's it. Have a little laughs and enjoy themselves, right?
yeah.
Um, hey, but so before we finish up here, I know we're talking about SC Loyal and on all the gaffes, that they've had, lately, with the losing or tying rather, really, the last few minutes of matches. But how much do you put on this on Landon?
Um, Not much. I've well, you know what? He the subs that have been kind of happening, and like the way the formations rearranged. Like I said before, I feel like they're trying to protect the lead. Um, but I do not. I I don't know, man. It's weird because I never like to blame the coach, because the coach only makes a formation, right? The players are the ones that play the game. But I think obviously he has to keep that aggressive play style, going. I understand he wants to protect the lead. I understand, maybe have one more person in the back, can kind of solidify that line. Um, but it's getting to the point now where they they have to they have to kind of push through that, and mentally get away from that whole, like, holy shit, it's happening again. you know
Yeah,
um so I think if I think it would be a real big statement piece if they just go out and they just, kind of, like you said, blow New York out of the water. Um, I put a little bit of blame on Landon, because I feel like he's kind of setting that tone when he makes these substitutions and these formation changes. But at the end of the day, um, the defense is giving up these big plays. It's not
yeah,
Landon, it's the defense.
yeah,
I feel like it's a 50-50 thing, to be honest. What about you? What
yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, it's you can't really just answer that question too easily, right? But mentally wrong if we're like, if this has happened in the past 2 seasons or so about like 10 times, right? I
Yeah,
think there's something going on there, and it could be the defense. And I know we talked about how Yarrow, he was like one of our best defensive players, and he gets picked up, gets noticed, and gets picked up and leaves. Yeah, I know this is Division Two. We're not gonna have world class defenders back there, and but they're pros. Right? This is they're professionals, and they're talented. And
yep,
I think there's been definitely been errors that have been made by the defense. But again, there's offense needs to really pick it up too. Like missing penalties ain't gonna work.
yeah,
Holding the ball, where the ball's not gonna go. all the way back to the defense where it gets the defense nervous and and then starts giving up plays.
making off
But
ball tackles.
yeah, I think it's a whole team effort, but I can't, again, how you say, I can't really pin it all on Landon. The players obviously have to have that mentality, and um, but yeah, it's really difficult to say. But I mean, I think Landon really has to have a really important talk to the players and the team, um, to just to make sure that doesn't happen again, or
Yeah,
it might end up happening again. I'm pretty sure it will. It happens. It's soccer, but we can't let it happen as much as it's been happening the past a couple months. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, and by all means, I don't think it's a time to panic. But if we if we can't win against Red Bull, then yeah, it's a time to panic.
yeah, and we'll and the next podcast we do is going to be a interesting one if we do lose.
I'll tell you right now, it's just I feel my energy is kind of low, and I know it's because it's so exhausting to keep talking about the same thing over and over, man. It's like
Yeah,
man, these guys they have to learn how to close games, dude. They just have to
yeah.
learn. I don't know why. I don't know what ah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
I think Chavos needs to make them the Chavos taco. I think
Yeah,
after the Chavos taco again, I think they'll be good.
yeah, no,
But
I think we gotta get well, not Coke. I think we gotta get the Kiwis out there, man. So if the Kiwis are listening, man, Boxall, please, if like get us a shutout, man, we'll get you a taco. I'm telling you that right
yeah,
now. All the Kiwis in the back, Grant Snowman, all you defenders. If you guys get us a shutout, we will get you tacos.
yeah, good, and they'll give them the protein for the rest of the season.
Yep, we'll make sure of that. Yeah, we'll make sure of that. It's like
All right.
for you guys at the party.
All right, man. Well, that's good for this week's episode. Tomorrow's a match, and let's see how that goes. I'll be crossing my fingers and biting my tongue and grinding my teeth
Yeah,
the whole afternoon,
man.
and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, man. If anybody out there wants to call in sick, the Bluefoot's gonna have the match. So
Oh, that's true.
just saying, we're just saying, man. It's like there's a cough going around. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not, but there's
Yeah.
something going around. So if you guys
All
want to take
right. All right. It's like senior ditch day.
yeah,
Tomorrow's gonna be like like work call off day. So
yeah,
don't
we
tell
don't
your bosses that you
yeah,
heard
we
this
don't
episode.
oh man. All
All right,
right, John.
everybody. All right. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks once again on a great discussion tonight, and we'll see what
Sure.
happens tomorrow, and we'll discuss it next week.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, everybody. Have a great night.
Peace out.
Peace out.